Hey, what's up? I'm doing app critique. This is a app that one of my students is making, and I wanted to talk about the app and sort of show you what's working. It's in progress. He's been cranky on this for the past couple of weekends, and it's something that helps him with setting goals for reading books. And I wanted to just talk through and give you an idea of what that is. So this is Reading Planner. It's from Marlon. And I just want to walk through all the different things that are on this. He's using TestFlight to give me a build. And the icon is super sweet. So it's this icon right here. So you can see it there. And let's just go, oh, we're already in Do Not Disturb mode. Excellent. Okay, so Reading Planner is all about figuring out how many days it's going to take to read. And so there's different ways that people leverage time, and there's different ways of thinking of time. And I have a little bit of experience here because I have an app called Super Easy Timer that allows you to use natural language to set timers to specific events. So in that, we support, if I just pull it open, so Super Easy Timer is right here. Let me just grab it. I need to leave at 1:45 p.m. today. So that's in 8 minutes and 57 seconds. So this allows us to think in terms of time. And that's exactly what this app is doing. I'm just going to pause that, move it to a different screen so it's not distracting. But that's exactly what this app is all about. And so right off the bat, I like an app to be functional and easy to use. And so we made it so that Super Easy Timer, you always start with a known value. And so that's one of the critiques I would have in this app is it doesn't always start with good values. So even if it just started with the standard number of pages in a book, whether that's 200 or 300, I think we should start there. And I think there should be a default value if we haven't typed anything for the reading pace. So I'd put like 5 pages a day or 10, or sorry, in this case, it's reading days. So the pace is a little bit confusing because we have reading days, but days is not really pace. I get the concept, but I think we need to sort of work on this concept a little bit. So we get an average 20 pages a day. So if we want to do it in 10 days, like this is cool. This information is definitely like what you're striving towards. And then you can see it sort of planned out. And then you can see the dates. It would actually probably be nice to know if it's like a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So like that's something that could make this a little bit more relatable, because when I think in terms of time, I'm not always thinking about like which day of the week it is. So just visualizing that information might be a handy little tag that we could put on here. But I don't think that's required. Like this still paints a lot of that picture. And yeah, so that's, I love this information. And then we can just quickly change this and it will update. So if I want to read it in 15 days, then it's going to do that. The one thing that I think isn't straightforward is that when you click up here, there's some additional properties. And I like that we have keyboard shortcuts for those, and we might have those up in the top bar. I haven't looked. We got to help. What does help do? Help isn't available yet. That's a good place to highlight those keyboard shortcuts and stuff like that. So highly recommend that. Having the Apple H. No, Apple H is hide, so that's not a good one. I use T for tutorial and Super Easy Timer. Or you can do Command ? That would be a good keyboard shortcut to bring up the help. If you do Command Shift ? That's gonna, so Command / I would say for help. That's generally a good one to use. And then over here we have the Add Start page. Now this is one that I kind of want by default. If we do that, it makes it pop on the screen. And I'd rather like just start with that. So let's say we're already at 25, we're starting a new book. We want to be able to quickly see, okay, how many pages do I need? Where can I put those in? And so Marlon's system is to put sticky notes, Post-it notes in at each of these pages. And that's why he has this app, because it tells him exactly which page to go to. So he just does this, and now he's got a plan, and then he can just execute on that plan without thinking. And so you read until the sticky note. I think it's a great system. Up top, we can hit reset, and that resets us to everything. I don't think that's ideal, so I would like this to reset to some default. I don't know. I think clearing out, it's hard to now visualize like what we're doing. So I would see if we can maybe have some default values so that we're ready to go. The other thing is interactivity. Like I would love a slider. So in Sketch, if I open up Sketch, and let's say I'm playing around with something, if I want to change the opacity, I can just drag on this slider, but I can also, if I switch, I think one of these right here. So if I grab here, I can slide it left and right. That was sizing. If I want to grab here, how does it work? No, that's not doing it. It's right before the word. It looks like it's not giving me the option there. Okay, so it's when you have it selected that you can then just drag on the value. So I use it all the time for if I'm on the prototype. No. When I'm on one of these things. These little interactive things over on the right above me, if you just like look up here, these let me just like quickly change the hue or the saturation so that we can just drag left, right, left, right. Because like I don't always want to use the stepper, and I don't always want to type something. So that just like gets you there quickly. Okay. So that's one example that I think is really helpful. The start page, definitely, I think that should just be on by default. Like, don't hide it. It's so useful that having to like come here is abrupt. The other thing is reading pace. So there's two options for reading pace. It can be pages per day or it can be reading days. So depending on what you're trying to do, you might decide to set this to one or the other. But this, to me, like it shouldn't be hidden here. This screams like we need a tab bar interface, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here. And it should be reading days. It should be potentially a end date, because I know we have date down here, but like end date, reading pace. So it should be like number of days you want to spend reading the book, when your target deadline is, and then the other one would be this other one, pages per day. So 3 different options, and they're kind of mutually exclusive. So I would sort of separate them if that makes sense. I think, yeah, end date. They're all trying to establish how fast you're going to read this book and when are you going to finish. So let's go through an example. There's one other feature in here that's integrated. There's one more thing I want to talk about. So tab is really important in Mac apps. So being able to tab between things. It looks like I got 2 minutes left. So I'm going to tab between these 2 different things. And let's say I want to read 10 pages a day. This is going to give me the output. If I switch to Command T, these two should be separate values. So 10 and 10 shouldn't necessarily be the same, especially if I customize. So if I go 25 days, or if I go down to 5 days and I switch tabs, like it shouldn't be 5 pages per day. So these should be stored separately. And then the last feature is if we click on this button, we can say, let's say it's the Swift book or something like that. You type it in, you pick your calendar, does this kind of cool highlight, and then if we add this to calendar, then it's going to add it. It would be nice if it opened up the calendar. So if you could say, I have a certain book, and here we go. Apparently I've done this twice. So here's the Swift book, and then I've got entries where I can go in and take some notes for each of those. I can see it on my calendar. One of the things I would like here is just say read. And so it's just simplifying some of the language, and then maybe read until page 52. So just clarity of the sentence or whatever the phrase that we're trying to do here. And then a capital D for day 1. So just a little bit of tweaking. But this is awesome because now it's on my calendar. Okay, I'm going to read that book. And then you've got some accountability. So all right, so that I think is it. I've got 40 seconds to get out the door, and I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching this. If you want your app reviewed, send me an email. I might make a sign-up form, and comment down below if you have an app that you would want me to do a critique of or look at. So this was Reading Planner from Marlon. And thanks for watching. And if you want, I'll have a link to his test flight where you can test it out. You can provide some feedback. Maybe this system is something that's going to help you read your own books. So I'll see you later and have a great day.